This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, where we broadcast live every day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. right here on Blog Talk Radio. Guys, if you're listening to Irvin and myself, then you know that you're in the right place, because this is where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And you know, Irvin, action is everything.
Action is everything. There is no substitute for it.
No substitute for action. We're going to talk a little bit about taking massive action and how that can help you streamline, hone, perfect your business practices and methodologies. But before we do so, you had a class today.
I had a seminar today. That's right.
This is one of the seminars that you do about every 2 weeks.
That's
correct?
right. Yeah.
And tell us, how was the turnout today?
The turnout was fantastic. You know what's cool about it is I was just telling for those of you who are listening to us around the country, let me tell you what, we have these seminars, right? And we're spreading them out all around the country. And before John beats me up about it, we are going to bring you this content online right from cruzandhughes.com, and so I'm excited about us doing that. But we've gotten past the wave of people who made New Year's resolutions.
Oh, you mean like the 2,000 or so people that crowded out the gym for the first 6 weeks of the new year?
Right. That's exactly. We've gotten past those people now, and so now we've settled back into what I'll call our cruising altitude, where now the real business people and entrepreneurs are showing up.
Well, you know, and if you were to have 10 people show up for a presentation,
sure,
as long as it's the right 10.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, we didn't have this huge bubble,
because you had over 100 and something.
Oh yeah, we stopped counting at 110 last time.
Yeah.
And this time we had less than half of that.
Okay.
Which was okay, because these folks were the folks that are actually committed to starting and going in business.
Not the people that I refer to as having the lottery mentality.
No.
And
which means that my model is working. I was successful in chasing those people off.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So we're down to action.
Yeah.
Well, now, if anyone wants to, if you didn't have an opportunity to attend Irv's class, or why don't you give that information?
Yeah, guys, we have another class that's coming up, and we're going to be doing these seminars. If you want to get on my distribution list so you can keep up with, where we're having these and when they are, you want to go to net30, net30 credit.com. There's a little window there for you to put your name and your email address right in on our system. That will put you on our distribution list. Or you can give us a call at our offices at 1-800-381-0073. Let me know that you want to be on my distribution list. Leave me your name and your email address, and we'll make sure we put you on there.
Awesome. Now, it's been one of those days for me.
I bet it has, man.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. I had a very uncomfortable conversation this morning.
Sure.
And it was with my mentor.
Yep.
And one thing about doing this show is like going to the doctor. Don't walk in unless you're prepared to get naked. And so on today's show, we're going to talk about getting proverbially naked in the way of seeking business excellence.
That's awesome, man.
Now, that uncomfortable conversation I had this morning was actually a building conversation for myself.
Sure.
It's whereby I took full and complete inventory of myself, how I do business, how I think, where I'm going, what type of action am I putting behind my business plan. And so, Irv, I thought today we would talk about seeking business excellence in your own business.
Sure, whatever that is for you.
And I'll tell you, it is uncomfortable to have somebody scream in your face and tell you that your performance, and because this is radio, I can't say what I'm accustomed to hearing from my high school coach.
Okay.
But let's just say your performance is dog manure.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And but here's the thing. Sometimes we need to hear that.
Absolutely. And you know what? The other thing, John, is we need to hear that more often than we think we do.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's the thing that I want to make certain that we understand about criticism. First of all, criticism coming from the right person is very healthy.
Right.
Number one.
Right.
And criticism, in my opinion, is an opportunity for growth.
No doubt.
So we're going to talk about these opportunities. We're going to talk about the level of criticism, not only that you should be getting from your mentor relationship, but also the level of criticism that you should be putting on yourself.
Absolutely.
And there is a lack of business excellence that exists in the marketplace.
Right.
I mean, when you think about companies that do things right, and I want to say just about everything that they do is right.
Right.
That is a short list in relation to how many companies truly exist out there.
No, that's absolutely true. And the other thing, folks, about being in business and understanding the role and responsibility that you have assumed as an entrepreneur does not give you room for you to be lax about your level of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
It does not give you a license to do whatever it is you want to do just because you can do it.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Just because you have the power to do something does not necessarily mean you should be doing it.
That's right.
Or in this case, perhaps not doing it.
That's right.
That's the point. And, I just want to say that I'm really excited, John, that we're talking about this particular subject, because I really believe that for a lot of business people and a lot of our listening audience, this might be the very difference between where you are now and where you want to go. And that's a big deal, folks. That can be a wide span of space between where you are and where you want to go.
Well, as a entrepreneur, I hold everybody accountable. I hold you accountable.
Sure.
I hold the people that I do business with every single day accountable. Right. And I hold them to a level of excellence that I expect you to rise to.
Right.
But more importantly, I hold myself accountable.
Right.
See, you can't expect excellence from somebody else, your associates, your employees, unless you first demand it from yourself.
Right.
And even more importantly, demonstrate that level of excellence.
That's it.
And so we're going to talk about that demonstration aspect of what we're of running your small business, as it were. Now, when you think about excellence is achieved the only way that I know, Irv, is through action.
Absolutely.
It's not through talking. It's not through intentions. It's through action. And it's what you do daily, regularly and often, that either makes for excellence or you're going to fall short of that mark.
That's right.
So we're going to look at some of the things that you're doing in your business that you can improve upon that would probably bring you from the lower rungs of your competition to someone who's actually able to compete for large chunks of market share.
Absolutely. Now, John, you hit on a word that's near and dear to my heart.
Let me hear.
And that's competition.
Okay.
I absolutely love competition.
Nothing better than a good foot race.
You have to have competition. And let me tell you why you have to have competition. Let me be crystal clear. You have to have competitors because you have to have somebody to bury. You have to have somebody to cream in the marketplace. You have to have somebody to measure yourself by.
That's exactly right.
And people come along and they tell me all the time, well, I don't really have any competitors. Well, see, to me, you've invalidated your business model completely.
I can't think of any one thing that anyone is doing
no competitors
where you have no competitor. There is no.
So your business model is so stellar that it is beyond measure.
Well, let's talk about some of the stellar business models out there. I mean, what comes to mind? Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire for sure.
Microsoft.
McDonald's. I was going to say Facebook, but the valuation is just ridiculous. And if you disagree with me, you know what? You can give us a call one of these days, and you can tell me all about it.
Well, and when you think about that, all of these companies have competition. Competition.
Yeah, that's right.
And so for you to be in whatever business that you're in and say that you have no competition, you're just completely out of touch with your marketplace and possibly even your clients. And that's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. And if you don't believe me, go tell your investors that you have no competitors and see what they think about you.
Oh yeah. Now that'll make for a good conversation. Now let's talk about some ways that or some areas in your business that you may want to take a look at.
Sure.
Hiring,
Right.
performance,
No doubt.
time management,
Yes.
customer service,
Yes.
sales,
No doubt.
your business reputation,
Right.
and your overall business practices or your system that you
Right.
use.
Your whole thing.
I think those are some areas that definitely need to be investigated as you determine, are we achieving the level of excellence that is necessary, not only for us to survive,
That's
but
not good enough.
but to thrive. I
That's
mean,
right.
We say all the time on this show, you're either growing or you're dying.
That's right.
Pick your poison.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And these are the areas of your business that you most need to pay attention to, and you want to know, am I doing what's incumbent upon me to reach the level of success that I say I want, that I intend towards?
Yeah, and the truth is, John, that all sounds good.
No.
All of that sounds good. In
Oh,
fact, we can get all tingly about that.
Mhm.
But the bottom line is, what are we going to do about the areas that we have discovered that we are not doing well in? That's the question. What do we do going forward?
Well, we're going to talk about some massive action, some things that you need to focus on, and that, we'll cover that a little later in the show. But I'm just going to, for teaching's sake, I'm going
Sure.
to give those areas again. Look at your business. Pay attention to hiring, your hiring practices, and that includes how you fire people.
That's right.
So I want to make certain that we include that. Your overall performance, the performance of each individual person that you bring into your corporation.
Right.
Your time management,
That's
your
right.
customer service, your areas of customer service,
Right.
your approach to sales and marketing,
Right.
and your business reputation and your overall business practices.
Sounds good. We're going to hit them all.
We're going to go to break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about business excellence. It's what most of the marketplace has no idea how to achieve, and we're going to talk about how you can do that right here. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the magazine that is for and about Houston entrepreneurs. To get your free copy of the publication that we produce each and every month, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com and input your information, and we'd love to send one to your email inbox as they are produced. Come back and get more education from Urban Hughes and John Cruz. We'll be right back after these messages.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Steven, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Urban and I are talking about business excellence. It's one of those types of topics where we're hoping that we hold a mirror up to your faces the way that our mentors hold them up to ours. I was saying in the first segment, Urban, that I had a conversation. You know, I have a quarterly conversation with my mentor. And we talk about those areas that I need the most improvement on. And today was one of those days where I needed a lot of improvement.
Yeah. Well, you know, we all do. And you must be a really, really good entrepreneur. Your mentors will let you get away with a quarterly meeting.
Yeah, they let me get away with a quarterly tune-up meeting.
Oh, okay.
Let's say that. It's every quarter we set the stage for where we want to be 4 to 6 quarters out.
Yeah.
And I sort of change that and remodel that depending on where I am. But then as I send that information to him, what I love about my relationship with him is that he holds me accountable to what I've set as the plan for myself, what I've set out to achieve or accomplish. And when I'm doing things that are not consistent with my goal, then he lets me know.
Yeah, well,
and so either I got to change my goal, or I got to change my practice.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, you know, and I think that's great that you have that kind of relationship. You know, I get beat downs about every week. I get that 50 times a year, so I'm not nearly as polished as you are about that.
Where's my violin?
No, I'm telling you, I get into trouble each week about something where I'm stinking up the joint.
Oh, man.
But you see, here's the thing. There are people who don't want to win bad enough to allow somebody to say, hey, you are stinking up the joint.
Yeah.
This is not what you said you wanted to do. You're doing 100 things opposed to what goals you set for yourself.
Absolutely.
And now I'm wondering, do I take you seriously or not? Yes or no?
And like I said before, there's only one of two things that can happen. If your actions aren't consistent with the destination or the goal that you've set, you've either got to change that goal, or you got to change your actions. Which is it?
That's right.
And so I've kept my goal the same. So I've decided to change some actions, and I'm going to even share with you some of those weaknesses that I have to overcome.
Man, we're so transparent on this show.
You know what? If you're going to get naked, I might as well get
naked. Don't go away, folks. John Cruz is going to get naked in just a minute.
Now let's talk about business principles before we move on.
All right.
You and I, we cover business principles on this show quite often.
Sure.
And when I take someone on in a mentor or mentee relationship, I want to know, what principles do you operate by? And your principles have to be consistent with your overall plan. And just to explain what business principles are, they are a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. So when I ask you what sort of business principles, you know, what are those things that relate to honesty, integrity, trust, and respect? You know, how does your company view those things? And I'm talking about from the way that you handle your employees, your associates, your customers, your investors, your bankers, You know, so we need to know, what are those principles. And so after today, we went through that. I thought that this would be a great time to sort of bring up Hank Moore's book.
Oh yeah,
The Business Tree.
Absolutely.
Because after you've taken a look at your principles and make certain that they are in alignment with where you're going as an organization, then we have to look at those 7 or 8 areas of your business, depending on if you're working with Hank's book or not. And I love Hank's book.
Absolutely.
Because it sort of breaks down the major areas of, and if you want a copy of Hank's Business Tree, all you got to do is go to hankmoore.com. type in business tree or look in the right hand column, I think he has a business tree diagram in there, and it breaks down for you the major areas of your business.
Right.
And those areas that we talked about just a second ago as it relates to hiring, performance, time management, reputation, all that falls somewhere in that business tree.
Absolutely. And you know what, folks? With that said, our good friend Hank Moore has written, I mean, this guy is a futurist, folks. This guy is the guy that Fortune level companies go to find out how to position themselves for the future. And you can associate with him directly by going to his website, get the book, the paperwork on the business tree. And let me just throw this out if I can, John, to our listeners. Folks, please don't go there if you do not want to be exposed.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be exposed. If you go to this website and you get this book, The Business Tree, and you measure up your company by what Hank Moore is saying these areas are in your, that needs to be in your business, not some businesses, all of them, and you don't measure up.
Yeah.
You're not willing to take that as an overlay or a measuring stick for where you are, then don't go to this website. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're not ready for what you're going to see. It will absolutely expose you.
Well, it's going to get you thinking, and that's the entire purpose of the show that we do here every single day. We want you thinking not only about your business, but the impact that your business leaves on this planet, the customers, the people who do business with you. And the thing I like about there are two books that Hank wrote that I really appreciate.
Right.
One is The High Cost of Doing Nothing.
That's a huge one.
And many of us, including myself, suffer at times from doing nothing.
Right.
And there is a cost associated with doing nothing.
And we think there is no cost because we get used to in our society of saying, well, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, how much did that cost you?
Right.
Even if you did something. Now watch this. This is what's cool about the book, The High Cost of Doing Nothing. The high cost of doing nothing is way more expensive than doing something wrong.
Right.
And that's the perspective you got to get from the book. And I know it was a shocker for me.
Yeah.
Intuitively, we know that doing nothing or making no decision at all is expensive. We know that.
Well, right decision, wrong decision, indecision is still a decision.
It's still a decision, and you're still going to pay for it. That's the point.
At some point. So let's kind of go over those major areas of Hank's book, because one of the things that I love for us to, when we have Hank on the show,
sure,
he really dives deep into these topics, and we're not going to tread those waters, but what we will do is we're going to give you that book or that website as a resource, because Hank also tells you how much time in your business should be spent in these major areas.
Right.
And when you kind of measure that up against how much time you're spending in those areas, it's either time to hire a consultant, hire more employees to, with those specialized skills,
get help,
or you're going to find yourself a little out of balance. The first one is he talks about the overall business that you're in.
Right.
And you have to have an understanding for what business that is. Or you said, I think, on yesterday's show, as a matter of fact, that many people don't understand what business they are in. And that's very important to know as an entrepreneur.
That's exactly right. And when you don't know what business you're in, folks, you are beyond help.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can't direct anyone who may want to help you. You have no idea what business you're in.
Yeah.
And therefore, you could be doing a whole lot of things that mean absolutely nothing to your success, simply because you don't know what business you're in. You may think you know. You may even put the title up and get comfortable with the title or the name of your company, and you find out, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not the business I'm in.
Right. Absolutely. Now, the next area is running the business, and Hank goes into detail about what subcategories fall under this title, and how much time should you be spending as it relates to running the business.
Sure.
The next area is your favorite.
That's right, and that's financial.
The financial aspect.
Boy, I'm going to tell you what, if you're a small business owner and you're not in the business of bringing money in and then keeping enough of it such that you don't run out of it, you got a financial problem.
So then let me ask you a question. How do you feel when someone says that they reinvest everything that they make back into the business and they don't keep anything set aside for any type of savings.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an issue with that, quite frankly.
Okay.
I think that you should reinvest, but I also think that part of that reinvestment, if you will, should include saving for what you didn't plan for. Because a lot of times small business owners, and I know I get into trouble for this, John, and we get into trouble on the show, but I get into trouble for this because I hear a lot of people say, I reinvest 100% of what I made into the business. Well, that's not smart.
Right.
All right, because inherently something is going to happen one of these days that you didn't plan for, and saving some money is how you plan for what you didn't plan for.
No doubt.
And that's that. So I have some real strong feelings about that. But to me, that comes from people having funny ideas about money to begin with. People have some really funny ideas about money.
Now that's a whole show.
That's a whole show. We're not going to go there. I'm going to stop right there. I'm absolutely going to stop right there.
Well, we were going through the 7 areas of Hank Moore's business tree. And again, if you want this information, it's free for you to be able to take a look at it. It's hankmoore.com. We've talked about the first 3. The next one after financial is people.
That's your favorite subject.
Oh, man, I love the people aspect of the business, and that's really where I shine. And I personally spend most of my time. And then he talks about business development, the body of knowledge, and lastly, the big picture.
That's right. And that's making sure that you're keeping the vision out in front. Certainly. And that you're communicating that with everybody in your organization, and so that they can either, 1, opt in to continue, or 2, opt out to get out.
That's right.
I think that's fair enough, don't you?
I think that's more than fair.
I think that's fair enough.
Why don't we take a break?
Well, let's take a break. You folks are listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by SalesNexus.com. SalesNexus offers the best in web-based customer relationship management systems. You can sign up today for a free trial copy of SalesNexus by visiting SalesNexus.com or giving them a call at 888-267-3589. Folks, stay with us. The education continues right after these messages.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And its alternative is
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So the next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
All right, welcome back to the show. Urban and I are talking about business excellence today. Are you striving for business excellence? Are you planning for it? Are you demanding it from the people that you do business with? If not, then you are you're operating with a recipe for disaster, as I said in the last segment. Right. And so now, as it relates to business excellence, when you make a commitment to do something, you should do it to the best of your ability.
Right.
You should follow all the way through.
Right.
And the only way that you can know if you are achieving that goal is to take full inventory of yourself.
Right.
And I want to talk a little bit about your SUKI or your gap. And one of the things that my mentor taught me about was the SUKI. And you have to find out what your SUKI is.
Now, back up, because what is a SUKI? Because I went to school with her, and she was troublesome then.
Is that right?
That's right. SUKI was troublesome.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
She had a nickname?
Yeah, SUKI. And I'm telling you, SUKI was troublesome. Now you're talking about SUKI.
Well, SUKI is it's your opening or your gap.
Okay.
It's a weakness or a deficiency. It's a Japanese word.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and so when you think about, let's take the ancient samurai.
Okay.
You know, when we think about ancient samurai and how they did battle, we think about Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
Right.
You know, all the flipping and the fancy swordsmanship and, you know, none of that.
None of that.
None of that. None of that Hollywood stuff.
Oh, okay.
You take two ancient samurai, and one of the things that they may do is they may circle each other. And before they attack, they may look at each other for minutes, hours, maybe even days before one of them attacks the other. And the reason that they have not yet attacked is because they are looking for the SUKI in their opponent.
I see.
And until they found that SUKI, they do not attack.
Makes sense.
But at the same time that you're looking for the SUKI in your opponent, you have to be careful to hide the SUKI within yourself.
Oh, boy.
Lest your opponent takes advantage of it and kills you.
Right, gotcha.
Business is no different. The whole reason that you start a business is because you see a SUKI or a gap in the marketplace.
That's
you
right.
see a weakness that does not, that isn't being properly covered by your competition, so that you feel that you can come in and you can exploit it.
That's right.
Well, to stay consistent with that, we all, on a personal level, have our own SUKIs that we're dealing with, and you have to make certain that your SUKI, as a leader for your organization, is not inhibiting your growth as a company, your growth and development as an entrepreneur. And that's one of the things that we have to go through as I have those conversations with my mentor.
Sure.
He takes a look at where my gaps are because he knows them, and he always wants to make sure that they're properly covered, and they're covered through the people that I employ. So you should be employing people who play to your weaknesses first.
Right.
So wherever you're deficient at, you want to get the absolute best talent that you can find. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. You know, quite honestly, folks, if you're in business for yourself, you started a company and you're the leader in that organization, and now you've made hiring errors. You've brought people into your organization, and the more you get to know them, the more you know that that hire was an error. You cannot win with the team you have. You have to take a page out of the NFL. When you got a team and you're planning on going to the big show, you're planning on taking the championship, all right? You want to take a shot at the title. You have to have a team that will get you there, and watch this, John, and win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not sufficient to get there.
Yeah.
Lots of people get there.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to get there and win.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you what, the instant you find out that you do not have that team, now I talk about this near and dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the courage to make the changes.
You know what?
You just do.
It starts there. You know what? First of all, you have to ask yourself, do you want to get better?
Right.
And you can't look at your Suki as anything other than it's an opportunity for you to grow or for you to develop. So your weaknesses are just opportunities. It's all how you view them. And once you identify with them in that regard, it's much easier for you to take the level of criticism that you need so that you can hide those Sukis, hide those gaps in your organization, and prosper.
Yeah, absolutely. Early on in my career, I used to have a real problem with committing. I couldn't commit because I had sort of prided myself in being able to avoid somebody pinning me in a corner and making me commit to what I had said I wanted to do, or even implied that I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And now it's so funny because I can immediately detect when somebody is non-committal.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you what, my mentors, I had a general manager at a radio station when I started many years ago, and he used to just rail on me.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what, if you would spend nearly as much of your time, energy, and effort being committed as you do being uncommitted, you would be so successful. He said, and Irv, you're good at avoiding commitment. And now today, somebody who's non-committal gets on my last nerve.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, why won't you commit? Make up your mind, even if it means opt out. Just make up your mind, opt out, say no.
And Irv, when you talk about non-commitment, first of all, it's running rampant in small business.
Oh, what are you talking about? There's people who pride themselves in not being committed.
I want to be an astronaut, but I don't want to leave Earth.
Yup.
I want to go to heaven, but I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
So the thing is, what are you committed to? You have these plans that you set. You put these lofty goals and aspirations out there. And then here's the thing. When you sit in front of someone like an Irv Hughes, he knows what actions are consistent to get you to that level or that stage of your plan. And when your actions are amiss or they're not in alignment or congruent with where you say you want to be,
I get that.
And as soon as you tell them, you're the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy. Now I'm the villain, right? Because I won't let them get away with messing around, right? And get this. The thing is, I've gotten to a place now, I'm almost 30 years now, right, in business.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get the faint hint of rat in the air. I can smell that rat. I don't care how well you've tried to cover it. I can tell when there is a rat. All right. And here's the problem. The problem is when you're in a leadership position, you're going to have other people who are trying to hitch their wagon to yours, and you're not committed. Now I got a real problem because now it's not just you. You're fixing to cause a train wreck for other people.
Well, and let me tell you this. I mean, good, strong, quality followers.
Right.
Because there is such a thing.
There is such a thing.
They will not follow weak
No,
leadership.
they will not.
So one of the issues that I see is when a company is struggling with attrition, and they got people that are coming in and leaving, coming in and leaving. Right. It isn't always what the entrepreneur thinks that it is. It's it's because this wasn't the right guy. He wasn't. Yeah. He didn't want to do the things that were necessary. Either your people aren't being developed, either they aren't being compensated properly, or they don't like the level of leadership that exists in the organization. And whenever there's a problem, the first person you have to look at as the entrepreneur is yourself.
That's
Are you the right leader? Because I know people who will take less money.
That's right.
To follow someone that they believe is going somewhere in life.
Is committed.
I mean, if you got a man who can lead people into battle and they go willingly, I'm sure you can find 5 or 6 people that'll take $25,000 or $30,000 less than what the market is willing to offer them if they believe that you're taking this company to places that they themselves want to be attached to,
That's right. That's exactly right. And that's why I often see people with tremendous potential, huge skill sets, great education, far greater than what I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But they lack commitment. And let me tell you what, I wouldn't follow them to the restroom.
Well, you know, on that note, let's talk a little bit about myself. And
you fixing to get transparent?
Yeah, I don't want to just turn this into a beatdown session of our listeners.
All right, so you're fixing to get naked now. Okay.
These are my issues. Returning phone calls.
Oh boy, that's one of mine. Sorry, that's a Suki.
I got to put a big check mark next to that one. And here's the excuse. Well, I get so many phone calls during the day.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is that honestly, I can develop a better system for having those phone calls returned. What I should be doing is going through those calls and in order of importance, the ones that are the most important, the ones that are the most crucial, put those on my callback list.
Right.
And the other ones, instruct someone on my staff what to say, how to handle that.
Right.
But make that phone call.
Right.
That's one of my issues. The next one is returning emails.
Right.
And the third one, lastly, is following through on projects.
Right.
Because we have 5 companies that we oversee, I'm always starting something, getting it going, putting people on it, but then sometimes I'll fall into that rut where I'll just trust that you're going to do everything that I need you to do without my oversight or my intervention.
Right.
Those are the 3 areas that I personally need help on.
Right.
What are yours?
Yep.
What are yours? You need to take full inventory of yourself.
Absolutely. And you know what? I tell you what, when we come back, because we're coming up on a break right now, but when we come back, I want to talk about some of those things that I know that I need to improve on. And then we need to move along because, folks, I want to share with you some of the things that I know my mentors and I have talked about that are weak spots. They're Sukis for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people in our position, John, especially those of us in the media, the last thing we want to share with you is weak spots that we see in ourselves. But in as much as both John and I are successful entrepreneurs, it's important, I believe, for our listening audience to actually hear some of the things that we still have to work on. So I'm going to share some of that when we come back from break.
I'm going to say this, I'm just shocked that you have things that you need to work on. I mean, first the Pope quit, now this.
What are we going to do? Stay with us. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. Listen, folks, when you need credit help, you can get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081. Stay with us, folks. The education continues right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now
Excuse me. heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee News. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Urban and I are talking about business excellence and those ways and areas that you can improve in your own business. And we went to break. We talked a little bit about what my Suki or my gap was, some of the things that I myself have to work on a daily basis. And Urban, you sort of said that you were going to mention a few things.
Well, yeah, you got me all inspired to talk about this girl, Suki.
All right, let's tell me.
Yeah, well, you know what? I got 3 areas that my mentors have constantly gotten on me about, so I must be a slow learner because they get on me about this all the time. And one of the first things that my mentor literally lit into me about just this last week was helping people who do not wish to be helped. That's
one of the 11 principles.
I have a natural desire to see people do better. And I had the argument with him because this started out when I was in school because I was a straight A student, but not because I liked school. I absolutely hated school, but I was more scared of my mother. I couldn't get out of that deal.
As was I.
And so here's the problem. So I did very well in school, but my motivation was to keep my mother off my back about school.
Right.
So consequently, I heard when other students was having trouble with their parents on their back, I wanted to help them, not understanding that might have been okay for them.
Right.
And so I started out trying to help people, and I still find myself doing that. My mentors get on me about helping people who don't wish to be helped.
Well, you know my philosophy on that
What's
is
that?
Everybody is right where they're supposed to be. I don't feel sorry for anyone.
Well, that's exactly
You're
right.
getting exactly what you deserve.
Well, see, John, you know, you're one of my mentors.
Present company included.
That's right. You're one of my mentors. So already you busted me about that. Number 2, not asking for help as fast as I should. Oh, that's a bad one for me.
I think it's a male thing.
Yeah, maybe it's a man thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I need to be better about asking for help faster. You know, I can already tell because of my experience in business, folks. I can tell when I'm about to hit the fence. I can tell.
We all know it.
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah, when this thing is careening out of control,
that's exactly
right before we leave the track, we know this is going to be ugly.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I've been reluctant to ask for help as fast as I need to ask. And so, you know, this is one of those Sukis of mine, and I'm consistently working on this.
All of our male entrepreneurs out there, stop viewing help as weakness.
That's exactly right.
Asking for help is actually you're showing strength.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it.
And number 3.
Here's the big one.
Uh-oh.
I've got to limit distractions.
Oh
my goodness. I find myself oftentimes trying to take care of what is urgent instead of what is important.
Oh, yeah.
And so I find myself putting out fires, and I'm not a fireman.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be putting out a fire.
Yeah.
I should be doing what is important.
Yeah.
What is expedient. I should be taking care of customers rather than putting out whether or not the dog has fleas.
Yeah.
And to me, what happens is I have all of this stuff coming at me, and it's all urgent.
Yeah.
You got to do it now, and and everybody's in some sort of an emergency.
Absolutely.
And those are my 3 Sukis, and I'm constantly working on these things.
Nowhere else in America, other than Cruz and Hughes, will you get this level of honesty, and nowhere else in America will you get this level of accountability. If we can talk about those things that need improvement in our own business lives, I'm certain that you can as well. I want to say this though, Irv, it's the small things that make the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
If you are at a point in your business life where you feel helpless, out of control, you've gone to the edges of your creativity, and you feel weak and powerless.
Right.
Let's work on a couple things. If I had the opportunity to get you on the phone and tell you a few things, this is what I'd say. First thing we want to do, lose 20 pounds.
That's right.
You want to feel empowered? Take control over the things in your life that are totally within your own control.
That's right.
Right? I can't control what the bank is going to say.
Right.
Lest I have excellent credit. I make certain that my business model is in a good industry. And, you do those things, but the bank still has the ability to say no.
That's right.
I mean, you have to control the things that you can control. Lose 20 pounds. Start being on time.
Right.
There is no greater disrespect to yourself as a business person or the people that you do business with than to walk in consistently and routinely late.
Let me tell you what about the time thing. Folks, the time thing, we have a good friend, Steve Levine.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, my God.
And let me tell you what, you just better have your athletic supporter on if you're 15.
Come on, this is radio. You better have a cup on.
If you're 15 minutes early for an appointment, you better have your athletic supporter your cup on because he's going to bust you right where it fits.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I went to an appointment with Steve last week. This is no lie. He called me 15 minutes before it was 8. Our appointment was for 9 a.m. He called me at 8:45, asked me where was I. I told him that I was in a little traffic, but I was going to be on time. He called me back at 8:58. I was parking in the garage. I walked into the office at 9 on the money, and he screams out to me, "You are late. Let's go."
That's right. That's exactly right. That's what I'm talking about.
So if you're not 15 minutes ahead of time for Steve Levine,
no, you're late. You're late. Period. End of story. And let me just say this, folks. Being late on a consistent basis, you are sending a message to everyone that you do business with that you simply are not, that you don't consider your business partners a priority.
Let me tell you
that's
how
the message.
The biggest telltale message about being late. You show me someone who's consistently late, and I'll show you someone that's suffering in every other aspect of their business.
Yeah, and it's going to come up, guys, and it usually shows up in the bank
cancer.
account. That's right.
Now, start a culture of please and thank you in your business.
Yes.
Force your employees to say please and thank you when they deal with other people, when they deal with their customers. It will improve the overall impact of your business. And lastly, the small things, stop complaining. Don't bring me a problem. Bring me the solution and then tell me about the problem.
That's exactly.
So those are some areas of the small things that can make the biggest impact in your business.
That's exactly
and,
right.
I thought we'd talk a little bit about in this segment, what are the steps necessary for someone to get better? Okay, now you've identified the fact that you're not there. What are the 3 things that you could do? Or
Sure.
You want to hit them with number
Sure. Let's hit number 1. Find someone who is not afraid to be honest with you. How's that?
That's a good one.
You got to find somebody that's not scared of you.
Yeah. They have to have the courage to be able to tell you what you need to hear.
They have got to have the courage to tell you what you need to hear. You know what? And get a report on your weaknesses and view them as business and personal growth opportunities. And, I just shared about that because I constantly get creamed about some of the stuff that I do, even to myself and others. And then thirdly, develop a plan, folks, for how you're going to improve. What is the plan?
What is the plan?
What's the plan? Because guess what? We know what will happen if you don't make a plan.
And if there is something that I could say behind those 3 excellent points that you made, when you develop that plan, take massive action.
That's right.
It's very easy to fall into the traps of mediocrity and comfortability, and once you know where you're weak, put those weaknesses out in front of you. As Irv said, you create that plan and take massive action. Stay on the path of excellence.
That's exactly right. You know what I call those things? Those things you were talking about, falling into the traps of mediocrity and being comfortable all over again? Inertia. It's inertia.
Yeah.
It's your deep-rooted desire to stay right where you are, even though you and everyone around you knows that is not the best place for you.
You know what? I mean, as you say that, I'm thinking about orbit and how you're in the orbit of mediocrity and comfortability.
Right. That's exactly right. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can give them a call today at 888-716-5022. So you want to know what else we're going to say? Stay with us. We're in the home stretch. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And its alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting at a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Steven, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Urban and I have been spending the last hour with you talking about business excellence. And I want to say this to you. If you are not a person that has the courage to go after excellence, then small business really is not for you.
No.
I mean, it's a hard road to hoe.
It absolutely is.
And we're all weak somewhere.
Absolutely. Go find you something else to do.
Yeah, but you got to recognize what your weaknesses are. You got to put a plan together to overcome those weaknesses. And then behind that, you have to finish it up with massive action.
That's right.
And, it's nothing wrong with having weaknesses.
No, that's the point. That's not an indictment.
It's not an indictment. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful.
That doesn't mean that either.
But the thing is that you got to know how to deal with those weaknesses. You got to put that plan together. You got to strive for excellence, and you have to do it with every person that's in your life. Once you get your business life together, you're going to start finding weaknesses and inconsistencies everywhere, and you're going to want to get those covered up, fixed up, or thrown out the boat.
Sure, absolutely. Throw that stuff overboard. That's what's holding you down.
You don't need it.
Absolutely, man. That's good stuff.
Urban and I always invite you to connect with us. You can do so by going to our website, which is www.cruzandhughes.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter under the name or the moniker John Cruz.
And I am as well.
Urban is on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter under the moniker Irvin Hughes. And Irvin is spelled with an E-E-R-V-I-N.
That's right.
Do you mind if people email you?
No, you know what? They can email me. Folks, if you have a comment, a question, or something like that, and you want to email me at Irvin, that's E-R-V-I-N, @cruzandhughes.com.
You can always email me at john@cruiseandhughes.com. And regardless of what I said on today's show, I am getting better about returning emails. So please send me one, and you'll definitely get a reply from me on the double. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So until we meet again, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
And Irvin and I will see you next time.
Take care.